Hey everybody, RSI Guy here. And I tell you, I'm back from Vegas, CES 2019, and I gotta say, it was all that and then some. Had to get a few days of sleep, having a little hair of the dog, and join me today as I recap and wrap up a lot of what I saw, did, other than the previous videos that you've seen. So, come right back.
It's the renewable and rechargeable review with the RSI Guy.
Hey everybody, renewable, rechargeable review here. I'm the RSI Guy. And today, finally, we are wrapping up my review of the CES 2019 show in Vegas, Consumer Electronics, and it was popping. Now, I'm here with, let's call it apple juice. So please, grab your beverage and sit with me for a few minutes as I look back at some of the things I saw, did, and some of the waves of the future that are very clear and present and will be here directly. Now, first of all, I have to say finally, because we got a lot of content, a lot of good content, a lot of good new products and services that are coming to the market pretty soon. And hopefully you've seen some of the videos I've already posted about those. If not, please go back and take a look. So with that said, stopping to talk and build with these people and interview them, it took a lot of, it took not a lot, but it took time out of seeing all of the exhibits. So no, I did not make it to all the exhibits. But considering they had the entire Las Vegas Convention Center, upstairs, downstairs, all the wings, they had parking lots with tents built in them that were, the size of like 3 football fields, long and wide. There was the Sands Convention Center that was also a part of it, upstairs, downstairs, and all their auxiliary rooms. It was massive. It was huge. And the only way to see it all was almost run through, and you don't have a chance to actually, digest what you're seeing at the time. So now that it's been a few days, I've decompressed, got a little sleep, because let's face it, it's in Vegas. And there are things going on in Vegas that you're going to partake in after the hours of the conference. Now, the convention center was open between the hours of like 9 to 5:30 or so. So after 5:30, what do? Well, there are multiple things to do in Sand City, as they call it. Of course, you can go out and network and, build on those contacts for business or personal, whatever, that you've made. There's the gambling. There's, the entertainment stuff like, the zip lines down by Fremont Street, all the other glitz and glam. Maybe you want to catch a show, a live performance, some comedy, some singing, some acting. It's all there. You want to spend some time with some prostitutes. Not judging. It's legal there. You want to partake in the legal marijuana. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But there are things to do after the hours of the conference because nobody's just going to go from the convention center and go back to their hotel room and go to sleep and prepare for the next day unless they're there working, their staff of the exhibitors that are going on. But you're going to spend some time out, so maybe you get back to your room midnight. Now you go back to bed and right back at it the next day. So there's plenty of activities to do outside of the conference as well. Now, as far as the conference goes, prepare for 5G. Everything now is, 4G, as we upgraded from 3G to 3 years ago. So in the next year or two, it's going to be 5G, and then 6G and 7G is going to progress on and on. Now, with the speeds has a lot to do with the wireless connections and Bluetooth. Almost anything and everything that has a product has an app that's connected to it. So your smartphone, your tablets, your computers are going to be very, integral part of operating a lot of these products, gadgets, gizmos, devices, because there's an app for that you boom and you work with it. Now, there are some technical advances that are in your home and outside your home. Let's start with in your home. The smart home, if you will. Excuse me. That's nice. Smooth. Almost every device nowadays, or in the future, which is nowadays, is connected to a camera or a device in which you can speak and or see and hear, what's happening wherever that device is compared to wherever you are in the world via that app. So in your home, you don't have to be there. You already seen the doorbells that have the cameras and the microphones in them. Now there are devices in your home, like the mirrors, not devices, but things in your home, mirrors, tabletops, desks that are now interactive, not screens, but not a computer screen, but you can find the words, RSI guy, that you can manipulate with your hands that, act like, move that over there, look at that over there, open this tab here, that type thing. What's that movie? Tom Cruise, Minority Report. Remember that board that he was manipulating with the information, the videos, the pictures, and they can move it all around? Well, soon you're going to be able to do that from your bathroom mirror or your coffee table. And that's coming very soon. Even the mirror in your car, the rear view mirror, it's a little screen up there that you can do things with. It's crazy. Eyeglasses, where the smart glasses, where they're glasses, but there's this little box inside that, you line up with your eye. And to give it commands, you press a button on the side of the glasses and it does things that you can see right there. Now, these cameras are going to be including more artificial intelligence, more AI, more programs that actually think and can see and determine and process what's going on in its field of vision. Now, some of these AIs are crazy. They can see through you. You know how you go to the airport and you go through the scanner at the TSA checkpoints? You got to put your hands up. You put your feet in the little yellow foot spots, and the thing goes around you, zzz, and it scans you. Well, they're going to be making cameras that are stationary that look like security cameras, just posted up. And they will be able to see through you to determine if you have a weapon, if you have a medical emergency because you're having some physical difficulties or you fall down. They will be able to tell if someone is assaulting someone. And from there, they can call the police. So security guards, your job days are limited because now the cameras, the artificial intelligence, and the robotics, which I'm going to get into in a minute, are going to take those jobs. Now the robotics, all the advances that have been made have been coming very, very fast from the conception to now. And from now to the future is going to move that much faster. And robots will handle other activities, and combine those robots with the AI. And now you have the autonomous, truck driving rigs that are on the road as we speak in the southwest of the United States. In the future, you're not going to need truck drivers. So you're not going to worry about, some guy driving across the country for 24 hours, all coked up on amphetamines or whatever, because computers and AI is going to be doing that. Deliveries, whether it be from a online manufacturer that you order from or your local food joint. Drones are going to fly those to your house, or They have the ground-based mobile drones. Imagine a cooler with wheels and GPS and cameras, and it can get to where you're going. You order it on your app. It delivers to your door. You open it up, you take out your food or whatever it's delivering, and it goes back to its base. Because it has the GPS built in and it says return home, and it does that. So delivery drivers, pretty soon that's going to be a job of the past. You look at self driving vehicles, taxi drivers, rideshare drivers won't need them because the built in GPS and the systems that they have will allow you to get in your car, take a nap while it drives you home. That's coming very soon. Airline pilots, you like to have that human, in that pilot seats because, humans can make those split second decisions. Well, more and more, our airline industries are going to be automated. And, it's coming very, very soon. Now, first responders. There are different techniques to put out fires that don't involve an actual human going into the fire. They're going to have robotics and AI going into those fires, searching for survivors or people that are trapped in there and able to get them out. So you don't put that human life in jeopardy of the fire person. Now, police officers. That's a very, very debated, very hot topic because in most countries, most cities, and most states, it's us versus them, the police versus the community. Whereas, the police are from the community, so they're supposed to be fellow human beings serving and protecting, looking out for those that can't. Historically, the overseers became the officers. So those who had maybe ties to, extreme groups that had hate or prejudice or racial issues toward other groups were in charge of the police. And so all the officers they hired had those preconceived notions, prejudices that in dealing with anyone of a different race, religion, creed, culture, sexual orientation, they had these preconceived notions of, I don't like them because, I don't trust them because. And what the community fails to, I think, realize a lot of the time is that as a law enforcement officer, you get lied to every day, all day, even when you don't even think it's a necessary thing. But people will, take advantage of those emotions, those empathies to their benefit. And now on the other side, the community, looks at the police as though, yes, it's a good thought to say you're going to go home at the end of your shift guaranteed. Well, there are no guarantees. And just for the mere fact that, part of your uniform is a bulletproof vest and weapons, let you know that it's dangerous. And just being dangerous in itself is a prohibition of you going home. Because if there's gunfire, there's something going on bad where the average person is running from, law enforcement officers are supposed to run to that. And somehow nowadays, they think that that's special. Well, no, that's your freaking job. Nobody made you, swear that oath or, put on that uniform or go out there and police the public. You chose to do that. And so any prejudices, any fears, when that adrenaline gets pumping, they have to be able to control that. And that's very hard to do because they're human beings. And, that's going to not be an issue in the future because, RoboCop was a thing, a movie, where they had a human brain in that robotic body. But now they're going to put artificial intelligence brain in a robotic body. Now you will have them patrolling the streets. And they won't have those fears, so theoretically, unarmed people won't be getting shot because the officer was in fear of their life. The robot is not alive. So it should not have that fear. It should not be intimidated. It should not worry about any harm to it because it's a thing and there are more of them. You're going to see more drones that have been equipped with weapons. And so now you have, these armored flying bots going around patrolling and policing. Now, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against the police, and I totally respect them for what they do. But the mentality of us versus them has gotten so profound that there's a divide between the community and the police, and there should not be that divide. Pretty soon it's going to be human of all shapes, sizes, creeds, colors, orientations versus robotics. The question is who's controlling the robotics and what have they been programmed to do? As a optimistic person, I hope that they are, programmed to do the right thing, but who knows what evil latent plans somebody, sinisters, just sitting behind like, wait till I get the chance. That's going to happen. Especially now when so many first responders are committing suicides and are taking their own lives for we don't know why. We want to know police officer, suicide rates are through the roof all around the globe. And all the different reasons, there's not one reason, of course, every day they're seeing man's inhumanity towards man. They're being, lied to in their face. They're being, intimidated maybe with their families or what have you. They have seen things, maybe done things, maybe covering up for others. Maybe some of the suicides are actually homicides, but who investigates? Other officers, so they're going to look out for themselves because now they're a family, a closed community, whereas they're within the community as a whole. And the community as a whole ain't feeling that. And so there's always going to be that brush, that bump. And hopefully, we can work it out as human beings before all the technology gets involved, but I don't see it happening. The technology's here, and as more municipalities get lawsuits, millions and millions of dollars paid out to these suits, as opposed to going toward other projects and programs that are necessary, they're going to start looking at, it costs this much to train, to suit up an officer, and we've been paying out this much in lawsuits, as opposed to it costs this much to build a drone or a robot with AI and put them out on the streets. And now you don't have to pay them, you just have to maintain them. And, theoretically, they're going to say, hey, it's going to be safer, things are going to be calmer. But like I said before, who's programming them? Who knows what ulterior motives they may have? Now, some other things here. Oh, back to the smart homes real quick. Everything's going to be voice activated as well. So while you're in the shower and you like to sing in the shower, hey, get your voice on. You can say, hey, Google, Alexa, Siri, whatever you name her or whatever her name will be, play this song. And it'll start playing, in stereo sound, right there in your shower or wherever you're at, because it's going to be that voice activated thing where you just tell something to do something and then it does it. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, everything's going to be connected with that. And they have the speakers, and I love sound and stereo, and it's going to be everywhere. The voice commands, the cameras. What else did I want to touch on before I let you go? Oh, first generation things. I am of the mind that I like to wait 2-3 generations, let them work all the bugs and the kinks out. But here at the CES 2019, there were a lot of first generation, devices and equipment that look very exciting. But I still want to kind of hang back. Think about, those of you that use I think the brand name for them is Fitbit. Get your steps in. Well, now they're going to have tracking for your steps within the insoles of a shoe. So the actual step will be tracked by the actual step. And of course, it's connected to a smartphone, so you can track your steps without wearing a watch or a wristband. It's in your shoe. And, stuff to make life easier and more efficient. That's the goal of these, to help keep us healthy. So you're going to see a lot more of interactive clothing that you wear, that you put on, that will monitor, track, or tell you anything that it's programmed to do, whether it be for physically, like your heart, your lungs, you're at this capacity where you should be at this, or exercise. And also, little story real quick. Being that it's an international convention, there were exhibits from across the globe. From Taiwan, Korea, France, Germany, Canada, U.S., all across the globe. So I was walking through and I saw this scooter, and I was like, interesting. But it looked kind of small to me. I was like, is this for children? And they was like, no, it's for adults. I believe they're from China. And I was like, well, what's the weight limit on that? Asking, as I'm a big guy, but it looked small for adults. And they came to me with the what is it, the kilometers? No, that's distance. Kilograms. Yeah, that's the measure of weight. And I was like, dude, I'm an American. We don't use a metric system, so you go to Google and translate, 220 pounds. And I was like, I couldn't even write that on a fast day, or fast like no food day. And then he was like, lose some weight. I'm like, mother. First of all, I wasn't talking about me. Second of all, this is America. All you can eat buffets, the steroids in our food, all the things that, give us whatever kind of cancers, but make us a little bit bigger. And just in general, Americans are taller, wider, and heavier than, let's say, from China. In China, you lucky you get an extra bowl of rice. You got to do some kind of forms out in the yard, ha, ha, ha. Stereotypical, I know, but it's true. You're not eating like that over there. And in general, you all are smaller people. So my thing was, hey, you want to sell some stuff in America, you got to supersize it, if you will. Make it for, more girth and weight. Just a tip, just saying. But there were a lot of, cool and inventive things from across the globe. But then some of the devices, some of the gadgets, you say, hey, did you really have to waste the resources to make these things? Because just look at the speakers that I was getting into before. You know how speakers, headphones, earbuds are supposed to sound good? Crisp, clear, where you can enjoy, your music, your podcast, whatever you're listening to. Well, some of these sounded like crap. And it's like, ooh. The tinky highs, murmuring mids and lows. And it's like, no, I don't want to buy this. This is crap. It's not a top name, obviously, but you're like brand X, brand X, brand X. But, wholesales, knockoffs, bootlegs, all that was there as well. If they want to pay for the booth and they want to sell their wares, those are their wares. But it's like, y'all, I can't even mess with y'all like that. Entertainment-wise for the home, you know how you have a wall in your living room, dining room? Well, now they're making televisions that will encompass that entire wall space. They're huge. They look good. It's like you're in a movie theater in your own home. That's fine and all, but they're huge. But something futuristic that I did see was, imagine a board on a wall with something the size of soda pop cans, sticking out, a row of 3 or 4, then go across 3 or 4. And they project an image or images out. So now it's a 3D hologram type thing in your room, whatever programming you're watching. And it's like, wow. Remember Star Wars, the very first one, which is Star Wars, where they were playing the Wookiee, Chewie, and C-3PO were playing that game? And it was kind of like, the Pokemon, Digimon? No, that's not right. Dragon Ball Z. And you have the different characters. Well, they were playing that with holograms. Those are here. And they're going to be coming for mass production, pretty soon. So instead of, the card games where you put down, well, this one has this power, this one has, that power, can deflect this. Now you can actually have those characters battling it out. And it's not just putting, boring ass cards out. Entertainment, that's coming. Sports, batting cages, instead of the ball just shooting out to you, now they have a big video screen of an entire, baseball stadium and a pitcher looking at you. And then when he throws the ball comes out of a hole in that screen and you swing. And depending on your contact, where it goes, it tells you what kind of hit you get, if at all. And then the balls go into a little return and then they keep coming at you. Same with golf. You have a tee that comes up out of the floor, and there's the background screen of whatever golf course around the world that you're playing, and you hit the actual ball as hard as you can, and depending on where it hits that screen, it tells you how many feet, that drive was. For all you pugilistic fans out there, where you got the heavy bag and you're hitting it, they have a bag that moves according to what you're throwing. So you have it on level 1, if you hit it pretty quick, it tells you, how hard on a scale of 0 to 100, how hard that hit was. But as you move up to levels, and it goes up to 10, I believe, the bag reacts before you can even really throw the punch, because the sensors in the machine can see you, gearing up to where it's coming from. And the bag bobs and weaves and moves, on its own. So it's a workout, so you've taken something that you're just punching every day, a stupid heavy bag, and now it has that intelligence in it to understand what is coming at it and how to avoid it. And, that's going to be more and more around for every activity. That artificial intelligence, those robotics are there everywhere. And they're only going to multiply and increase. 3 holograms. Oh, yeah. Now, I'm not going to say the name of the game, but there was a new gaming platform that launched at a hotel one night. It was the Luxor. And the only reason I went is because that's where we were actually staying. But there was a list of, hundreds of people that signed up through the CES app on the phone that says, yes, we want to attend this. But it was like near one of the last nights of the conference, so people were tired. And, sadly, there were more staffers for the game manufacturer than there were people there to see it being released. And, so it was kind of a dud release. Even though the game looked kind of interesting, I guess. You're in the game, you can make it do things, and it's next level things. But not every event, not every expo at the CES 2019 was, mind-blowing, amazingly shocking, mass participation. Some of it, kind of fell by the wayside, depending on people's schedules. Now, I hope you look forward to CES 2020. And if you're into that kind of thing, plan on attending. Plan on not getting any sleep while you're there. So the days that you're there, a few days after when you get home, plan on taking a nap, sleeping a little bit, because you're going to be worn out. All right? So sounds like that's my time as I wrap up the CES 2019. Hope you enjoyed all the content that I've been able to give to you. If you have any questions, you can always hit me up. And also, if you have any products that you would like reviewed here, the address is on the screen at the end of this video, as well as below in the information about the video. All right. So before I get out of here, I have to remind you, if you can please like, thumbs up. Share, subscribe to these videos. That would be awesome. YouTube channel, Renewable Rechargeable Review. On Twitter, @GuyRSI. On Facebook, RSI Green Energy Network. And our website, I know, which is being revamped as we speak, rsigreenenergynetwork.org.